play to the best of your ability. I feel like he hurt the Carolina Panthers organization more by being hurt for 2 years, a year and a half, however long it was, not telling anybody, and having Carolina suffer than saying, hey, Ron, dude, I've messed up my shoulder. I've messed up my ribs. I need to go through training. I need to go through medical stuff, protocol to get myself back at 100%. That's where I lost respect in Cam Newton, because he wasn't able to play to the best of his ability, and because he did not do that, he put the entire team and organization and Coach Ron Rivera and everybody in harm's way. They lost their jobs because of it. Bottom line.
Brandon,
Wait.
Hang on.
Do you want me to handle this, or would you like to do it, Brandon?
I don't.
Hang on 1 second. Cam Newton got hurt in the Tampa Bay game, the second Tampa Bay game in 2018. That's when we found out that he did have the shoulder injury. I did not notice him actually start playing bad until about the second half of the Cleveland Browns game the week afterwards. And then the Saints game the week afterward, he played absolutely terrible, and he had some kind of padding on his shoulder. And, it was right there I was going to be like, yeah, he's hurt. He needs to come out. And he realized that too, because he did not play the final 2 games of the season. He gets healthy over the offseason, comes back, injures his foot, and then, he tries to play through the injury. It gets better. He aggravates it during the Tampa Bay game. They take him out. Like, he gets put on IR, and Kyle Allen takes over the keys for the rest of the season, and then things fall apart afterwards. So Cam Newton was not hurt for 2 years. He only suffered the major shoulder injury in the back half of the 2018 season, and then had the foot injury in 2019. So he wasn't hurt as long as you think he was, Wesley.
Okay.
I mean, he's been
not to mention,
but nothing severe until the shoulder injury in 2018.
All right, go ahead, Daniel.
Not to mention, that shoulder injury was pretty obvious that he was hurting. Like, every time he threw the ball, you could see him wincing. So, I mean, it was pretty obvious. If he tried to hide it, he done a terrible job.
I didn't notice it.
This is how I look at it, okay, in this whole situation. Take football aside, right? Take Cam Newton aside. Take Tom Brady aside. Track and field, volleyball, whatever it is, okay? A professional athlete or any age athlete in general wants to play every single second, every single minute, every single down, play, whatever it is. I'm the same way, okay? As a professional athlete, you want to be out there every step of the way. And now back to Cam Newton in this situation. You look what the Carolina Panthers have done for the backup role, the depth chart in the quarterback situation. Who would you rather have in the quarterback situation than Cam Newton? Would you rather have Will Greer, who is atrocious? Would you rather have Kyle Allen prove that he was terrible, even though Ron Rivera obviously loves him because he gave him a 5th round for him? Cam Newton wanted his team. Yeah, Cam Newton wanted to be out there because he was the best chance they had to win a ball game. And I applaud him for that. Any quarterback that wants to be out there, and me, I actually respect him more for being out there injured because I'm a girl when it comes to pain. You put me out. I had 2 sprained ankles. I was ready to come out in football. I was ready to come out. Coach, sit me down. I was not singing the praises. Coach, put me in. That was not me. I can respect any player that wants to be out there. For example, Thomas Davis came in the Super Bowl with a broken arm and wanted to play.
All right.
Okay? You're telling me that you wouldn't want your second best or really best at the time in Thomas Davis coming out there and being a linebacker for the Carolina Panthers. It's just the name of Cam Newton as the reason why so many, and I'm not just picking on you, Wesley.
It's
just because his name is Cam Newton, it is because, the injury-wise, the way he dresses, my friend and Brandon's friend, and of course Wesley as well, and Kent Collins, doesn't have a clue when it comes to individual aspect on Cam Newton. One, because his one argument to us, we do sports all the time here in the Sports Mayhem. The one argument he has, he does not like how he dresses. Am I right, Brandon?
Yeah, that's true.
Am I right?
Yeah.
So the problem is, I can respect somebody like that.
I'm not in any way saying I don't like the way.
Yeah, of course.
The way the guy dresses.
But when it comes to the injury aspect of things, I can respect a player more for wanting to be out there and prove. Because, one, there is nobody else that can really take his place, and he proved another aspect of all this, guys, is when he finally said, you know what, it's time for me to go get surgery, what did the Carolina Panthers do? They cast him aside, and we see what happened, okay? There's nobody else in that depth chart. Now there is, because we got P.J. Walker, who I think is going to be a resurgence in the NFL. I think that's a great pickup. And then, of course, Teddy Bridgewater, which I'm ecstatic about.
I was going to say, what's your thoughts on Bridgewater? Definitely. What's your
I
thoughts
love
on
it.
Bridgewater?
I love it. I think it's a good opportunity for him to really stand out. One, he's a cheap starting quarterback. We paid him $22 million a year.
That's not very nice. He's a cheap ass quarterback.
I think that's perfect. That's a cheap option for a starting quarterback in the NFL right now. Average per year is $33 million a year. Okay,
you're not that
we
good.
just paid a starting quarterback $22 million to play and be a starter. We got him for 3 years. I think it's a great pickup. I think it's he can prove himself coming back from his really life-ending injury that he had with Minnesota.
Right,
he can prove himself, and it's a cheap option. I think it's a great hire.
All right, Mike.
Remember Bridgewater won all 5 games he started with New Orleans last year. He can get the job done.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true.
So I like the signing. I think
all
it'll
right,
work
so
out.
Mike Guerin, I'm going to let you in this subject because we have to go to commercial break. We're going to get ready for the second hour as fast as the first hour's gone by. We're going to talk about Michael Jordan and LeBron James and that battle in basketball. We're going to talk about the new playoff schedule in the NFL. And by the way, this has just been announced via ESPN in notifications while we're live on the air on the roundtable. The NBA is encouraging teams to cut player salaries by 25% in efforts to keep the NBA afloat during these trying times with our pandemic. I didn't say the word, Trey Snide. But, Mike, final segment on Cam Newton before we go to break on the roundtable.
Okay. My thought about this is like we talked about this Friday. I'm not real big into the modern NFL. I'm still watching Terry Bradshaw and Roger Staubach on YouTube. But guys, you look at, like Bruce and Daniel said earlier. These guys, Tom Brady, Cam Newton, like them, hate them, whatever. They're phenomenal athletes.
Yes.
There's only been a handful of franchise quarterbacks who has left their team and went and had very much success anywhere else. We're going to see now, and they may go out of stellar seasons, but the proof's going to be in the pudding wherever they land. And I know Brady's going to Florida, Tampa Bay, and we'll see what kind of players they are now for sure.
There you go. All right, we're going to end this subject. We're going to go to a quick timeout. When we come back, we are going to talk about the NBA. We're going to talk about the salaries. We're going to talk about the season. We're going to talk about who is the best NBA player. Is it Michael Jordan or is it LeBron James? We talked about this on a segment of the Sports Power Hour with Bruce Barrett and myself, but we're going to indulge with the boys. It's the Roundtable presented by Symmetry Financial Group on the CRN Podcast. We'll be right back for the kickoff of hour number 2 in just a moment.
Looking for a life insurance company that specializes in what you actually need? Protection. Call Danny today with Symmetry Financial. Danny is certified in all 50 states, which means Symmetry Financial is not limited and has over 30 companies to choose from. Symmetry Financial has proved time and time again that their options and pricing is just better than the rest. Give Danny a call today at 828-994-1681 to see how Symmetry Financial can make life simple.
Coming soon, the new wave of hydration and energy drink HIQ. This new product is all natural with no caffeine and gives you a major boost of hydration and energy. No twitching effect or crashing like the old energy drinks. You can visit our website at www.liquidhiq.com or Twitter at HighQ2015 to learn more about this amazing energy drink. What is your level?
Live your life and just let go. If you try, then you will know.
This is CRN, the Community Radio Network, the voice of the community, the voice of anything sports, and proud to be the voice of the Comets. Follow us at crnsports.org. Now let's get back to the broadcast coverage on CRN.
Now back to live coverage on the CRN Sports Network.
Welcome back to CRN, the Roundtable. We're in hour number 2. Oh, yeah, we're having a good time. It's March 31st, 2020. And this is our official Roundtable podcast. All of our shows are available on all of the podcast outlets officially at crnsports.org. I'm Wesley Outland, Trey Snyder, Bruce Barrett, Mike Guerin, Daniel Moore, Brandon White. And before we close out the segment of Cam Newton, Daniel, you had a little segue question to ask everybody before we talk about Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and the NBA.
Yeah, well, I mean, so I was just kind of, I don't know, just kind of prepping for tonight's show or whatever. Yeah. And the question come up to my mind, who will have a better season first year, Ron Rivera or Mark Rule?
And, of course, you know that Ron Rivera has been announced as the new head coach of the Washington Redskins, formerly of the Carolina Panthers. And then we have Mark Rule, who's been a very good college football coach, I would say, Trey Snyder, now getting the tip of the hat to be the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. Trey, who's going to do better? What do you think? And I would say right now Ron Rivera, I believe, will have a better season in 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, I'm looking at it as, who has the better roster? I don't care what team it is. You know where I stand on the Carolina Panthers because I'm a fan of them. But I'm looking at it as who has the better roster overall. One, a Kyle Allen-led program last year finished ahead of a Redskins team led by Haskins, okay?
Okay.
The Haskins is going to be their starter. Obviously, we picked up a better starter in Teddy Bridgewater. And I'm just looking at the wide receiver group for the Carolina Panthers. And they picked up Robbie Anderson, Curtis Samuel, DJ Moore. I mean, these guys are good. And then we picked up, we mentioned Russell Okung, the tackle from the Chargers. To be honest, I'm looking at I'm not familiar with the roster. I'm looking at it right now. Adrian Peterson is part of that. Their biggest bright spot on the offensive side, Garius Geis, who can't stay healthy, a great running back. His first play in spring season was an 80-yard run that he got hurt on, and didn't play the first year of his rookie deal. He got hurt again the second year. If you're a fantasy football guru, like I love playing fantasy football, you have so much hype in Geist, but all of a sudden he comes in, he puts up huge numbers, and he gets hurt. So, again, he's an injury-prone guy. The other aspect of it is there's Terry McLaurin, a great young wide receiver, but that's really it, okay? I'm looking at rosters alone. I don't care who the coach is. I don't care who the owner is, what city you live in. Based on the roster alone, the Carolina Panthers have a much better roster sitting right now. I don't know what's going to happen in the draft, but if you add wide receivers to the Carolina Panthers and potentially a better backup running back to McCree, I didn't even mention Christian McCaffrey. I mean, another wide receiver, even though he's a running back.
But
he led in receiving yards.
But Trey, it's a very simple question. Either it's A or B. It's either Mark Rule.
I told you. It's Carolina Panthers.
Ron Rivera.
It's Matt Rule.
because I don't want to stay on this subject forever. Okay, so he says Matt Rule. I say Ron Rivera. Brandon White, who are you saying?
I say Ron